After the ball is over, after the skein is done, after the die lot's finished, and you are short just one, many a knitter has made a tearful and desperate call, pleading with their local yarn shop, go after that ball.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 548. Today is Monday, April 3rd as we are recording. My name is Marlisha, also known as Lady Furnico.
And my name is Talia, also known as Franciscan Gypsy.
We want to welcome all new and returning viewers to the Fun in the Woman Cave. If you are new, once again, we're glad that you have found us. And if you are returning, we're always glad to have you back. If you are in the shadows and you would like to become more involved, or you'd like to help us out by becoming official, so people can see us, just hit the little red subscribe button gently up there on your right and tap the little bell, and you can customize how often you get notified by that little bell for our podcasts. You'll get, was it an email, right, that they get when they
no,
it's just a notification
well, it depends on their settings.
Mm-hmm.
Like some people do have their settings that they'll get an email every time they're notified. That would annoy the heck out of me. Most of the time you just get notifications, the notification area at the top of your YouTube where it says like, it has like the little bell and all that.
Yeah.
So you get all your notifications up there.
I think there's a little number on a little bell up there. It says.
Oh, I have no recollection.
I think that's what it is.
I just click on it when I see I have stuff up there.
Yeah, and you know,
and if you have your phone settings that you can get notifications for certain things.
If you have just one or two podcasts that you watch, then that's fine. But like I have a gazillion podcasts, I think.
Well, I have it set where some of them won't notify me at all. I just can find them.
Yes.
And then I have some that are like occasional, but I have like only like 3 or 4 maybe that do it all the time.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, okay. If you are, oops, I'm sorry. Let me see what this is real quick because it's a phone call. Oh, never mind. I wish spammers would just leave me alone. Anyway, if you want to become official, as I said, just hit the little subscribe button. It's a little red button on your right. You can tap the little bell, and you'll get notifications. All the fun things happen, and all the alongs and all that. You hear us talking about the alongs. Those happen in our home group, which is phmpodcast.freeforums.net. That's phmpodcast.freeforums.net. It's in the little description box below the video in case I spoke too quickly, which I tend to do sometimes.
Indeed.
Okay, now, I have 4 projects. How many do you have?
I have 3, and I just wanted to show people what Mom was talking about, because I noticed that, yeah, it has a number. I mean, everyone who's on YouTube probably already knows it. And if you have it set, it'll show a number on your app as well.
And you have 3, you said?
I do have 3.
Okay. In my, this was given to me by a very lovely fellow podcaster. She's one of the ones that I like to watch when I haven't been watching anybody, not even our own. Mm-hmm. But when I do watch it, I watch her. Her name is Crystal. She's chronically crocheting, and she had this mug made for me, or got it for me somehow. I don't know where she got it for me, but it's beautiful, isn't it? My little owl. I crochet is what it says, and she gave this to me.
I almost used mine for hot chocolate the other day, and then I realized that would probably be way too much hot chocolate.
I don't have an owl.
Well, my bunny one.
Yeah,
she had made.
The bunny she had is huge.
Well, I seriously thought about it because it was on a day that I was frustrated, and I was like, I should make hot chocolate in this. I'm like, that's gonna be like 800 calories. So
in this, I have not my own blend, but the blend that inspired it. This is Chocolate Monkey. So it's not Where's My Chocolate Monkey? This is Chocolate Monkey, and this came from Vine and Leaf, which is a local tea shop. They don't always carry it anymore. So this is all I have left of that.
And when you search for it in other places, it's just not quite the same.
It's not the same. So I went ahead and made one over at Adagio, and it's called Where's My Chocolate Monkey, which is very similar.
Apparently Chocolate Monkey, that the blend changes slightly from place to place. So, yeah. Now what I have is I decided to go with your suggestion and make this latte. I accidentally this morning, and I already had tea leaves prepped that all I had to do was add sugar, add the water, and then go. Instead of adding sugar, I added more tea leaves. So it was a very strong, not sweet tea while I was doing the liturgy. More was not better.
It smelled better.
And that's probably why you really could smell it.
It smells like Fruit Loops.
That was probably why you really were able to smell it. But I added almond milk. Now, I do wonder if I overdid it a bit.
It's mild.
I think it's mild, but
I'll taste it after you.
I mostly smell the milk.
I can still smell the Fruit Loops.
It makes me think a little bit of when I had, you see that kind of odd, I'm wondering if I overheated the milk. It makes me think of, is that Azule Blanco? The thing that I made, the Mexican thickened milk?
No. I mean, maybe it does, but I didn't have that. But this makes me think of something that has cream over it. Like if you had some kind of, like you can taste the fruit, but it's very milded out.
Mm-hmm. Well, what happened was my sugar wasn't melting, so I added more water than I wanted, just dumped out afterwards, so it is a weakened tea.
I think it would be very good as a latte with the regular strength.
Yeah.
Not the regular strength.
The way if I had it in a different a different thing to steep, if I had the one that I would have put in the mug, it would have been okay for me to have the sugar on top. But because the water only hit about here and my sugar was up there, it wasn't going to melt.
Right. If you had made it the way you were supposed to make it, it would have been a nice latte.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think it's not terrible. It just makes me think of, I think it's called Azole Blanco, except it's just not thick enough.
And it's very mild.
It has that undertone that I feel like maybe just because I had so much of it. You added, instead of cornstarch, it's something similar. It's a masa de harina or something like that, and it's similar to cornstarch.
Okay, so you have what's that? That's an Earl Grey.
So this is Earl of Grey with way too much almond milk in it.
Yeah. And way too much water.
Yeah. Well, the water, I mean It was double strength. It was double strength with half of it poured out, which I thought would have, I guess, it still made it weaker.
Mm-hmm. Well, also, if you did it that way, if you weakened it like that and added more water, then it was going to be weaker because.
Yeah, I mean, it still would have been stronger than if I had just done it normal.
Well, that's why it's so weak with the almond milk.
Yeah.
Because in general, when you do a latte, they say to do at least double your.
And I did do
leaves.
double.
But my point is, you dumped the water and then redid it, so you probably got regular strength. And then you put the milk in.
Yeah, I mean.
Because you're going to do that way, you don't want to put as much milk in.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think what usually happens, you almost get a double strength when you do half. Because, okay, I already have a double strength because I steeped double the amount of leaves.
Right.
And I only, it doesn't magically get double strength when you pour it out.
No.
But what you normally end up doing is I normally end up doing is I do double strength, but I do it halfway down the mug. So it ends up you're actually doing, like, instead of double, be like, 2 times double strength.
What are you talking about?
Okay, so you're steeping double of what you normally would in a full mug,
right?
Only in half a mug. So it's less water for more than you would normally steep.
Did you dump all the water out of your tea, or did you leave your tea in there?
I left my
not the leaves, the tea. Did you leave the tea?
After it was fully steeped in double strength, I got rid of half the tea, which is still the same strength.
Right.
So this is still double strength, but it needed to be double strength because if I had only steeped in half the water, with the double strength amount of leaves,
too many numbers.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
If you added more water to your double strength and half strength, it still would have been double strength. Because you added more water. That's all I need to know. Okay.
So this was double strength. It should have been 2 times double strength by me adding less of the water.
Now,
while steeping.
I don't care. Too many numbers. You lost me about 10 minutes ago.
I think I make sense.
No. You make headaches. Okay.
I do make those as well.
All right. We have alongs to do. We have prizes to do. I was going to do the long, it's time to do the in-depth kind of rules. I'm just going to do that for autism awareness because that's a new one for us, because we have prizes to do and all that kind of stuff.
And also, the rules are, and we were talking about how often we need to do them anyway, because I mean the rules, you're only going to care about the rules if you are in the along, which you can't be in if you're not in the group.
Right, but sometimes, people, sometimes they just don't. So I don't mind doing it every so often. And what I said was every month, and it may be every time.
I think quarterly would be cool.
We'll see. I'm not willing to give just yet. We'll see. Okay, I'm not gonna discuss that online. The movie night. Okay, first of all, let me just give you the information for the autism awareness. Thank you, Jody, and thank you, Rena, for calling it to my attention. I meant to put it up by the 1st, and I had a conversation with our tax preparer, changed some stuff. Talia had a conversation with the same tax preparer and told me some stuff that I had to go back and change some stuff. That's why everything kind of got pushed back a little bit. We have not yet asked Laura if she wants to do autism awareness with us. Obviously, she is more than welcome to, and I will try to get to her the next few days. Laura, if you're watching, you can always just,
I think she says she's behind.
She probably is. But Laura, if she wants to do it, she is a co-host. She always is. It's the way it is. She's always a co-host if she wants to be for this particular along. The rules, we're not probably going to go into like the autism stuff. We've been doing this ad nauseum. We're not going to go into probably much of the facts until, except maybe what's going on with Davina a little bit and things like that, kind of anecdotal. Might come up with some facts here or there, but we're not going to stress out about it. This is basically to raise autism awareness. So we're going to be, it begins April 1st and ends June 30th, and they can start at any time, but must be worked on or worked on between April 1st through June 30th. Of course, if they're finished, you get multiple chances for prizes if you have the featured yarns or featured patterns. Featured yarns and patterns are the same as always. Mine, Talia's, Laura's, in bright colors. They have to reflect the theme. And George's Braid It Bright, that's 10 hours or less. And Modest Creation, she has a weighted lap gan and
I think
bear.
And a bear, yeah.
So I'm trying to find her. I can't find it, but it's in the thread. And the hashtag is PHNAA2023, okay? And let's see here. The projects are just like everywhere else. Knit, loom knit, crocheted, weaving, card making, paper crafts, things like that. If you have a question, just ask us. One of us will get back to you. Ren is really, really good about getting back to you. We have quasi-moderators. We have another moderator in Patty. She's back on the threads again, so she's very knowledgeable as well.
Yes.
So if you have any questions, just ask us. Somebody will respond. If they don't know, they will tag us, okay? Because we don't always see, so somebody has to tag us, and then we'll be able to answer you. There will be prizes, and let's see here. If you have a featured yarn or a featured pattern in the finished object, that's eligible for 2 chances at a prize. And if you have a featured yarn and a featured pattern in the finished object, is eligible for 3 chances at a prize. You're responsible for your own multiple postings. As I said, this is all bright colors and the color blue, okay? Because blue is a color for autism awareness. Okay, and it should be about 3/4 or more of the bright colors, okay? Not just like, oh, there's a bright blue pop there and it's all white or something, okay? It has to be bright colors. Okay, so that's the new one. Let's get to the prizes. The PHN movie night, basically the same rules, except that this has to do with movies, movies and whatever has to do with movies in theater, okay?
Yep. In the cinema. In the cinema. So, and the same featured yarns and patterns, except there's no George patterns here, and there's no Modest Creations in the movie night, okay? It has to reflect the theme of movie, movie experience, okay? Let's see here. All this is in the thread. The hashtag is PHN Movie Night 2023 on Instagram. Did pull for prizes yesterday. We got
a couple of the usual suspects and a couple of new people, so that's cool. The first prize for the movie night was Jody. That's Jody Daya. And she's got the Miss Crosby yarn. If I can find it. This is it. So, get this out so she can see it. Jody Daya, you won this.
That's pretty.
Isn't that pretty?
No makers?
No, this is Mrs. Crosby.
Oh, okay. Sorry, you said that. For some reason, when
Yeah.
I saw the label from back, like on the screen, it looked like no makers to me.
And it's toucan colorway. Okay? So, Jody, just drop me a line with your name, your address, and the fact that you won the Mrs. Crosby yarn for the PHN movie night along, okay? So, you're our first winner on all the alongs. She's the first winner for 2023.
Yep.
Okay? The next winner in the movie night one is Steph. Okay, Steph, you have won this Deborah Norville yarn. It's 2 skeins, and I think they're different colors. A lot of these prizes were donated by Christina.
Yes.
She's very, very generous with us. I can't tell if these are the same or not. This
They
has
are the
more
same.
blue, but
They are the same.
okay, so you got these 2 skeins of Deborah Norville, okay? So, Steph, just drop me a line with your name, address, and the fact that you won the Deborah Norville multi, these blues and pinks and everything, yarn for the movie night, okay? Cal, all right? PHN movie night, Cal. Okay, so congratulations, Steph and Jody, for winning in the movie night, Cal. 3 more quarters to go. Okay, the Ready, Set, Go. This one was won by I Know Who You Are, was the first one I pulled, and she got the Wool Boon yarn. I never heard of this yarn, but it is absolutely gorgeous. It's a speckled yarn. Here you go. Woolen Boon. I have Wool Boon as Woolen Boon yarn. Okay, you see the speckles? Isn't that pretty? So, I Know Who You Are. I need your name, your address, and the fact that you won for the Ready, Set, Go, the Woolen Boon yarn, okay? If you say Wool Boon, I know what you mean, because I put it down on the notes that way. Okay, so that's our first winner for the Ready, Set, Go. And our last winner of the quarter here was one we haven't seen in a while, but she's been posting a fair amount, so she was able to win a prize. Linnea, Linnea, you got this Sugar and Cream yarn. I think one is Sugar and Cream. I don't know if they're both Sugar and Cream. Let me see. One is Sugar and Cream, and one is Creme de la Creme. Okay, so what, orange and purple? These would make really nice.
Yeah, they would kind of go together.
They'd be really nice dishcloths. They might even make a cute baby toy. The kind that the kids can chew on. You get those cotton toys for the babies.
Cotton toys.
So it's for teething.
But
see,
it feels weird.
so that's the whole point. Okay, so Linnea, you got the cotton yarn. Okay, the purple and the orange. Sugar and Cream is one of them. Creme de la Creme is the other. Yarn pack for the Ready, Set, Go. Please get back to me as soon as you can. I know I'm not always super good about letting you know that I received your addresses, but the sooner you get them back to me, the sooner I can get them out. I probably won't get them out before Easter, but just so you know,
Right.
that's that. Okay. So congratulations to everybody, and the rest of you, you still have plenty of chances to win. We got alongs going, and love the projects. Even if I don't comment a whole lot, I do see them, and they're beautiful. And we're starting to get the bright ones for the autism awareness, which is always fun.
You're first.
Yeah, I gotta find where I'm at here. Oh, I forgot the PHN Celebrating Spring, Passover, and Easter Cal. Okay, it's a MAL, actually. Make along. And all the rules are basically the same in terms of featured yarns, featured patterns, and all that. But the theme has to be reflecting spring, Passover, or Easter, something in that area. I mean, it has to be, in the spring. And, it's from now, well, it started March 1st, and it goes through May 15th. I said May 14th. It's easier to remember May 15th. It's Davina's birthday, May 15th.
The first episode of the podcast.
First episode of the podcast. So yeah, that one, same featured yarns, patterns, etc. Same types of projects. It's hashtag CSPE 2023 on Instagram, and that is in the thread, so you can see that. I say that kind of fast. Now we can get to the projects. All right, let me just get something to eat. Are you going to fall asleep to me?
No.
Okay, this first one, I did a little bit of work. I started working on this one, and then I had to put it aside. This is in my angel bag. My Knitting is My Bag angel bag. I've had this bag for over 10 years. This is my Film Noir shawl. And I had hoped to have this finished, but honestly, everything's going on the back burner because I have that wedding gift to do.
Yes.
So this might be a while. Not that it's a problem because I'm not going to be able to wear it till fall anyway,
Right.
most likely, unless I'm wearing it in the house. So it is quite large, but it's not where I want it to be yet. Using different shades of gray and cream and, just shadow kind of colors.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this is Miss Babs and Dragonfly Forever for the most part. And that's all I really have to say about this.
Okay, so for me, in my Knit for Brains teapots bag that Laura gave me is my Bombers Hooded Cowl. It is the Thorns Hooded Cowl pattern. And yeah, just a little bit. I think I mostly worked on this in the podcast, maybe a little bit elsewhere. Mm-hmm. And I'm using the colorway Squash Blossom in my Yowza What a Skein.
I think they just call it Yowza now.
I think they do just call it Yowza. I think Yowza What a Skein shows our age. But yeah.
It just shows how long we've been a customer of hers.
Exactly. But yeah, this is enjoyable. I just have had my focus on other projects, which is the only reason why this hasn't been getting more attention.
Yeah, too many things, not enough time.
And then I had a slew of orders from the shop, which was a bit overwhelming too.
But you got them. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just put something here to cap it off. I'm hoping to get some more knitting and crocheting done later this afternoon or evening, maybe. First I have to do Virginia tax stuff.
Right.
But my husband's got a dental appointment after work, his work, and I asked him if he needed to drive me. He said no. They said that it was only a local anesthetic and he could drive himself home. So I will have a little bit of time that I might not have had uninterrupted.
Right.
Because usually he'll come home and he'll start making his stuff for the next day, and my momentum gets a little bit mixed up, and so now I won't have that little break in between. He'll just come home and I'll be finished doing whatever I'm doing.
Your turn.
My turn?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me see if Okay, this one I did just a little bit of work on during the Zoom, I think. Which we had a nice time with the Zoom.
Yeah, we did.
This is my strawberry shortcake baby blanket project from the Cerebel scarf pattern by by Sarah Sweethearts. I have to fix that. And this is ice yarn in shades of pink. And I think I finally added this new yarn. So, yay! And this is growing. It's very soft. It's a bear to work with if you have to tink back, but it's very soft. And I love the way it patterns out.
Mm-hmm.
It's just beautiful.
It is.
Kind of reminds me of a pastel sunset.
Yeah.
Or something, sunset or sunrise or something, whichever one has the pink in it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and I'm not sure if I'm going to use all the yarn in this pack, but it's nice on the hands.
Well, that's nice.
And stuff like that. You just don't want to make a mistake. So.
Okay, so...
Oh, it's in my 10-year podiversary bag.
Oh.
That's all.
In my Maryland Sheep and Wool big tote bag, this one got a little bit of work. Let me cover this up. This is my heart Afghan. I can't remember exactly what I call it. I don't feel like pulling up my show notes. The pattern is Lots of Love, baby blanket by 10 hours or less. Our very own George, and
always will be our very
always
own
will
George.
be. I'm in the middle of a row right now, but because I sized up to be a throw blanket, a large throw blanket, I will be probably in seed stitch for the rest of my life.
So she's older than dirt.
So this might be my Good Friday knitting.
Right.
maybe I'll make it through all the seed stitch. And I love seed stitch, or I like the way seed stitch looks, and I never minded working it. But this is a lot of seed stitch. I mean, I think I have.
I think I would pull my hair out of my head.
I think I determined was like, gosh, let me see how many rows of seed stitch, because it's excessive.
Well, that's because you.
Well, that's because I enlarged it. It's not his fault. He didn't. His patterns in center, and it will look really cool when it's done. It's just right now I am in having too much seed stitch syndrome.
She's having seed stitch dreams.
So it is 168 rows of seed stitch.
Wow.
And I'm on 26.
It is the stitch that
Oh
never
dear.
ends.
And it's a lot of, it's 241 cast on.
You might hear some banging stuff. Davina's doing her chore today.
I
in the
want
bathroom.
this blanket. I love this blanket. Seed stitch, seed stitch, seed stitch.
Seed stitch.
But it's my own fault. And I do want this blanket. And I love working with this yarn. But, yes.
Seed stitch.
So, it looks the same as it will, like, for the next 20 years.
Except
because
it'll get bigger.
It'll just get bigger.
Hopefully.
Eventually. Or it'll get sucked up by the black hole knitting.
That's the way I felt with the handbrake when I was doing the handbrake. It was like I had to do like 2 or 3 inches to be able to finish it. And every podcast I would say just 2 or 3 inches. Like, how long is 2 or 3 inches?
Yep.
You know, how wide is 2 or 3 inches?
And then you get to a point where you're like, oh yeah, I have growth. And you're like 5 inches. And you have to pull back.
Yes. It's like, when did that happen? I'm not measuring.
You went from 1 to 5 inches magically.
Yes. You went from 0 to 60.
So your turn.
Okay, let me just finish this stitch here. I'm trying to get this excess yarn so it won't knot, because if it knots, it is like purgatory time.
I'll just show while you're.
I got it.
This is Knit Picks Swish Bulky Weight, and I'm using Garnet Heather, which is an absolutely gorgeous
It
colorway.
is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
But I'm determined to use it for this blanket and not to repurpose for a sweater. Because I do want the blanket.
Okay, so let me put this away. The next one, okay, this one I can't show you. I can show you the bag. I just, I got caught in here. There we go. This is a test knit for Talia, so I can't show you. It's in this bag. Say hello to Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse.
Hi, Mickey and Minnie.
Hoverbird bag. That's that.
Yay. Okay, so. Sorry, I was sitting here thinking, like, what if I find a way to repeat the chart more than he tells me to? But I will contemplate that later. Because then that will get me past the garter stitch. Or make it at least a little shorter. Anywho, my final one, which has been the one I've wanted to work on almost obsessively, is in my Batman tote, and I guess colorful Batman tote. I used to use this one or one like it for work. I have several. So this is the Log Cabin Love Baby Blanket by George, and I am aiming for more of like a lapgan because I get cold while sitting at my desk, and I'm tired of running over my Afghan when I fold it over. And my last accidental lapgan was destroyed because it got caught in my wheelchair.
Which one was that?
It was one, I don't even know what pattern I was using. It was one that I was doing knit, and I decided I didn't want to finish it, so it became a lapgan.
Oh, not one of your squares.
No, that's something else. That I actually did a miter square, log cabin. It was the only other log cabin I've done. So I've started into grains.
Very pretty. Wow, it's really growing.
So yeah, it has grown.
Is that a heavier weight yarn, or is it?
This is this is worsted. This is actually what he calls for. Now I did go
we
down.
were surprised because we were looking for the double, triple.
Yes, he actually calls for worsted. He called for like a 10.5 and a 9.
He likes very open.
And I didn't want to do that, so I have 10.5 and yeah, I think 9 is 2 down because he likes to go 2 down. He wants to go 2 down. So I'm instead doing of a 10.5. I'm doing 8, and then 2 down from that I have a 6 for my picking up stitches. So I have a brighter lighter green to be on the other edges on these sides once I'm finished with this darker green. And I actually use this darker green, the other skein of this darker green for a Zeus's Petals.
Oh, that's pretty.
Oh yeah, I used to pick up this particular yarn a lot for Zeus's Petals. And I think I have other skeins of it if I...
What is that called? I've seen it before.
Oh, it's a German one.
Yeah.
It's actually a single ply. But it's a very nice yarn. And I know I have an orange one still that I really love. So if I want to, I can pull that orange one in. And I want to say I might still have the red one from this. I used to pick up 2 skeins of this because I need just a little bit more than the 1 skein to make the Zeus's Petals. Mm-hmm. I think I did anyway. Maybe I just like to have an extra skein. Anyway, I actually need to find the brand online again because I really did enjoy working with it.
It's a pretty yarn.
It's a really, and it changes, it has a little slight color change it does. You can see where it's changing to the light green here at the top. And over here, we have the light green at the bottom where it picked up and we're getting darker again. So, it's pretty. It's a really nice color. Yeah, I did a red in this, I did a green in this, and an orange in this for Zeus's Petals. And what I liked about it was the fade effect. But yeah.
I'm just about to where I was, I think, when I missed my stitch. I had, in this, are you done?
Yeah, I am.
In this is my last project, and this is in my Silver Shed USA original Davina bag. It's my owl bag. And I have the to having to hold blanket, and this is a wedding gift. And what I had to do is I don't know if I wasn't paying attention. I obviously wasn't paying attention, but I missed the stitch. So on the Zoom, I had to go back about a row and a half. So I'm almost back to where I was. You can see where the marker is. So yeah, it's moving along pretty well. It's only pulled in a little bit with the shell stitches that there's no real chaining between the stitches. There's in the formation of the stitch itself there is, but not in between the stitches. So you have a little bit of a pulling in effect,
mm-hmm.
but it's not too much. So it's still going to be a nice size Afghan kind of thing. So it's actually, I was said it's going to be similar to Talia's size, although, like I said, because it's pulled in a little bit, it might not be quite as big. But it was meant to be about that big.
Yeah, because I think, I don't have the measurements I intended to have.
Well, mine was like 73 and 60 or something like that. I don't remember. I had to check and see.
I'm trying to remember what.
And this is in my Bare Necessities bulky. It's a very nice yarn to work with, and it goes really quickly when I sit down and do it. But like I said, I had to tink back or rip back, and so now I'm just getting caught up again because I have to make up for lost time.
Right.
This is why I start things right when I know that I have to do it, because then I don't have any surprises, hopefully.
Right.
Anything
So
else?
I don't have any other projects.
Okay, let me just see if I can stop on this stitch here. I'll probably work on this later today anyway, if I can. Just do this. All right. Where is my? There it is. There.
Now, I'm not picking up the bag because I don't feel like it, but I have worked on my design in progress. What are you looking for? So that's my shop news.
Let's see. Okay, I'm just trying to.
Yeah, no problem. You were trying to figure out what the heck is going on over there.
I honestly don't know what I've done here. Oh, that's the bottom. I don't have to worry about it. Okay.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I was like, I'm not tearing all the way back. So I'll never get to this point again quickly enough. Okay. All right, shop. You just did shop?
Yeah, mine was really quick. It's
Okay. I have 2 skeins of yarn downstairs. They're hanging to dry. I've rinsed them out, and it was one of those where I had something in mind. I tried it, didn't really. It was too close to something else, so I over dyed it, and I really like the way it turned out. I'm waiting to see what it's going to look like when it finishes drying. See how much it fades out when it dries. But I had to do is because I have a special order. This person's been very patient waiting for me. She wants me to do a special order for her. And we've been talking back and forth, but I had to get rid of dye stock before I could do anything else. So I did that, and I did this skein here. And Talia, the name is something that Talia told me is from Tolkien's world. So I can't remember the name offhand because I'm not really familiar with it. Yavanna. And apparently she is in charge of growing things.
Yes.
So this is the colorway. It is repeatable. So I took notes. So you can see here. These are all 4 skeins. The 2 downstairs that are drying and that are not this colorway, and then this one, they're all fingering sock. They're sock weight yarn. But you can see it's got the blues. It reminds me very strongly of the forest and of I almost called it the Shire. So there are 2 of these. It's 462 yards, I believe, and it's sock weight. It has nylon. I think it's 75-25. The typical sock weight yarn, and it's really pretty. I really like the way it turned out with the greens and the kind of blue undertones. So let me just, and it fades out from dark to light to places where it's almost white, but not quite. My fingers don't want to cooperate.
Bad fingers.
They're not liking it, even though there's no weather that I know of. They're not.
I couldn't see any weather.
So yeah, so I have 2 of these, and they will be going in the shop as soon as I can reskein them and put the labels on them and take pictures. So you will see that coming up, and maybe at the same time the other ones will go up if I. Let's just face it, nothing's going to go up before Easter most likely, because I have Easter's just busy. But I will try to get it up as soon as possible, and I have to get started on that other special order thing. Cause I had to order some stuff as well for that. So for the part that we're still talking about, and she knows what I'm talking about. I'm being very cryptic, but she knows what I'm talking about. She's been very patient. I appreciate that. She's one of my best customers. So we'll put this here.
So I figured out how to not die of seed stitch. So instead of over 100 rows of seed stitch, I've taken it down to 72, and the stitch chart, the center part with the hearts, that will be repeated 3 times. So I still have a heart in part in the section in the center, but then I get 3 different heart times.
Are you making it smaller, like on the border? Are you going to make it in between?
No, I'm just going to have them repeat one after another. So it'll be, border, and then heart, 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 and then border again.
Okay. I think I understand that, but okay.
Yeah.
I'll see it when it comes out.
So it won't completely kill me. If I decide I want to, I can throw another, short, small little garter in between. But that way, I just won't have death by garter. Not by garter. I won't have death by seed stitch. I meant seed stitch in between. So.
All right. So, this is kind of going pretty fast here. Let's see here. Let me see. don't think we have any royalties, do we?
I don't think
I
so.
don't think so. Yeah, basically that's we because it's been such a busy time. I mean, with everything going on, that we didn't, and also in an effort not to put you through a million rules and things like that, we're
Yeah.
trying to condense a little bit, so it's a little shorter than normal. But I thought it would be longer than this with the prizes and everything, but I guess because I didn't go through all the rules. The rules are all in the threads over at PHN. My shop, I hope to be updating, like I said, in the next few weeks. I have, like I said, four skeins. You saw 2 of them here. Hopefully you'll see the other 2 next week, maybe more. And it's just the possibility of getting a lot of yarn done right now won't be really great because we have tax appointments, and we have dental appointment for my husband today, and we have church things on Thursday and Friday. So and Ty's got a nurse visit coming in.
Yeah, it's when his
tomorrow.
insurance sends them.
So we're going to be busy, but I'm hoping that now we're over the hump with the Easter. When Easter is done, that thing should level out pretty much, and because Mother's Day and all that is a holiday, but it's a smaller holiday where we're not expected. I'm not expected to make a big gift, big meal or something. So I'm starting to feel like dyeing yarn again. So
I'm down to 56 rows of seed stitch on the edges, and then I will have the 8 rows of seed stitch in between each chart.
Yeah, I hope that works for you.
Well, I subtracted.
Well, I'm just saying that you're doing it while we're doing other things.
It makes sense.
Okay, well, whatever. I do want to ask, I've been meaning to do this for several weeks. I made these when I actually thought, why I thought this, I don't know. These squares, I made several of these. They're crocheted. And if anybody wants them and wants to make something of them, I will send them to you. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I have 14 of these smaller ones, and I have 2 larger ones. If you want to work with these, if you think you can make something out of them or incorporate them or something into a project, they're just sitting here, and if they just sit here, they might end up getting thrown out. So if
You've been meaning to show for a while.
So these are crocheted squares. If you want them, first come, first serve. Whoever wants them, if anybody wants them, please let me know. Otherwise, I don't know what I'm going to do with them. They might just go in the trash. So
Well, can you piece them together into something?
no, I tried doing something. I don't have enough.
Mm-hmm.
Or I have enough to do like maybe a pincushion, and then I have leftovers. And the thing is with the open work, it really needs to be done on something flat,
Right.
unless you have something that's already enclosed.
Right.
So yeah, if somebody wants this, just tell me. The mess of the strings here, but the threads. But just let me know, and I'll send them to you. It shouldn't be a problem. Okay.
You'll be doing her favor.
Yep, do me a favor. I think that's all we have. We want to wish you guys a happy Easter. If you celebrate Easter, happy Passover. I think Passover is still going on, isn't it?
I believe so.
Yeah. Passover. Whatever it is that you're celebrating during this time of year, we
Is
wish
Passover multiple days?
I believe it is. I know we have a couple of our Jewish friends who know what that is, and we could just look it up if we wanted to. But
I was just hearing about how the big controversy in the Anglo-Saxon period, that's what would have been considered the Dark Ages, where there was a huge debate about when Easter would be, and it was regarding when the Passover was what was the argument point.
Right.
But I'm not quite sure exactly when it is.
Well, in any event, we want to wish you a happy Easter, happy Passover, whatever it is you're celebrating this weekend. And we hope that you will join us here for the Fun in the Woman Cave next week. Before we leave, we do want to thank the people who commented.
Yes.
We have quite a few commenters. I think I got everybody. I want to thank Andrea, Kara, Paula, Meditative Crafter, Gail, Wendy, who is MacGyver, and Jody Dial. So we would thank you for taking the time to comment.
Yes, thank you.
We always appreciate your comments. Even if we don't always get to them in a timely manner, we do very much appreciate them. We always like to hear what you have to say. You guys are very sweet. So yeah, I can't get to my clapper because it's behind all my bags.
Oh my gosh, you didn't plan very well.
Well, I had to have a place to put the prizes so they didn't get trampled underfoot.
Yeah.
So we want to wish you all a very blessed Easter Sunday week full of knitting, crocheting, whatever that makes you happy, your family, your friends, all that. And we hope to see you here again for the Fun in the Woman Cave next week. This is the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode, I thought I wrote it down somewhere. Did I not? I meant to. I think it's 548. Let me see.
I didn't bring up my show notes. I do think you're right.
Wouldn't get the podcast if I didn't do this. I don't want to deprive anybody.
548.
Episode 548, and that's a wrap. God bless. Bye.
Bye.